Hi friends, today we're going to talk about our percent problems quiz. Starting with number 1, it says Grant has a dinner at a nice steakhouse. His meal costs $45.50. He has to pay 7% sales tax and must leave a 20% tip for his server. How much did he pay in total for his meal? Okay, so the meal costs in total $45.50. So I'm going to write that value down first. Then you have to pay a 7% sales tax. Now, whenever I do this, remember I've got to change my percents back to a decimal. So I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left, and this becomes 0.07. So now this is 4550 times 0.07. You're able to use your calculator. So 4550 times 0.07 gives me 3.185. Remember, we're talking about money. So we're going to round this to the nearest hundredth. So 3.19. Then I'm going to take that tax and I'm going to add it to my meal. So I'm taking this 3.19 and I'm adding it to 4550. So 3.19 plus 4550, and that gives me a total of $48.69. Now I need to calculate my tip, and I'm doing that based off of this total after tax. So I'm going to take 48.69 times 0.20, remember, because we got to change that 20% back into a decimal. So 48.69 times 0.20 gives me 9.738, and remember, we're going to round that to the nearest hundredth. So that's 9.74. So $9.74. Then I need to take that 974 and I need to add it to my total, which was $48.69 to get my total for the entire meal. So 9.74 plus 48.69, and that gives me $58.43. As my total for the meal. It's not cheap to eat out. Okay, number 2. A person buys a meal and tips 20%. Select all the meals a person could buy for a total of $15 or less. Okay, so similar concept here. This time we're going to start at the top. We're going to start with 15 and work our way down. So when I do this, the easiest way is just to change this 20% into a decimal. So I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the left. I'm multiplying each of these amounts by 0.2. So I'm going to take 15 times 0.2. And when I do that, I get $3. Now, we need to figure out all the meals a person can buy for a total of 15 or less. That includes 15, but it can't be more than 15. If that's my tip, I need to add 15 to that, and that would give me 18. So that is not less than 15, so E will not work. So let's look at D. Same deal, 13.25. And I'm going to multiply it by my tip, which is 0.2. You can include the 0 or not. So 13.25 times 0.2. When I do that, I get 2.65. Then don't forget, I have to add it back to my original, which was 13.25. When I add 2.65 and 13.25, I get 15.9. That is more than 15, so D will not work as a meal. Let's try C. 12.50 we're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply it by 0.2. 1250 times 0.2 is 2.5. But don't forget then I have to add it back to my 1250. When I do that, I get a total of $15 exactly. Now it can be a total of 15 or less. So that would mean that C will work, which means all these subsequent problems, B and A, will also work because they are all less than 1250. So A, B, and C is what we should have got for number 2. Looking at number 3, a shirt is on sale. The original price of the shirt is $11.50, and the sale price of the shirt is $10.12. What was the percent discount that the store applied to this shirt? Okay, so when I do percent discount, I'm taking the original price, and I'm going to abbreviate, minus the discount, divided by the original, and then I'm multiplying that by 100 to get my percent. Okay, so my original price here was $11.50, and I'm subtracting that from the discounted price, which is $10.12. And I'm dividing that by the original, which was $11.50. And then multiplying that all by 100. Okay, so $11.50 minus $10.12. That gives me $1.38 divided by $11.50. And that gives me 0.12. And then finally, I need to multiply that by 100. And 0.12 times 100 gives me 12. So that's a 12% discount on the shirt. Looking at number 4, a student compares his height at the beginning of middle school and at the end. What is the percent change of the student's height during middle school? Round to the nearest whole number. And then we need to decide if it's an increase or decrease. Okay, so remember percent change, similar to percent discount. When we do percent change, get this pulled up here. We're doing the new minus the original divided by the original times 100. Okay, so the new was 172 minus the original was 137 divided by the original, which is 137, and then times 100. 172 minus 137 is 35, so that gives me 35 divided by 137. 35 divided by 137 is a long number, 0.25547, and it goes on. We need to round to the nearest whole number, so I'm going to round this to about 0.3 to start. That's the nearest tenth. And then I'm going to multiply that number by 100. So 0.3 times 100, that gives me 30. So it's a 30%, and he grew, right? So he went from 137 to 172. So that's a 30% increase in height. Number 5 says Walmart is selling a video game for $50 and offers a 5% discount. Target sells the same video game for $60 and offers a 20% discount. Find the price of game from each store. From which stores should you buy? Okay, so we're going to start with Walmart. $50. And I'm going to times it by the discount, which is 5%. So remember, I move my decimal 1, 2 places to the left. That's 0.05. Oops, I did that wrong. Sorry. 0.05. All right, so with our calculators, we're going to do 50 times 0.05. That gives us 2.5. And this is a discount. So remember, when I'm discounting something, I want to subtract. So then I'm going to take 50 minus 2.5. 50 minus 2.5 is 47.50. So the Walmart price is $47.50. Now for Target, we're going with a $60 discount at 20%. As a decimal, that's 0.20. I'm going to multiply it first. All right, so 60 times 0.20, that's $12. Then it's a discount. So I want to subtract my 60, my original $60 minus 12. And 60 minus 12 is $48. So which one is a better buy, Walmart or Target? And it looks like here Walmart is a better buy, so I'm going to circle Walmart. Good job, friends.